Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Raccoon here with What If Issei was a part of the Supernovas. Now, before I continue on, no, this is not part 2, this is a redo for part 1 because my dumbass probably fucked up all my words last night because I was half dead ass tired. Reason why is if you have watched already the short and you probably watched already part 1 and I did kind of explain it. Pretty much, yeah, I almost died. But not really died, but not the point. Now, yeah, I should probably not be standing right next to a firework and the launcher being half destroyed because, well, there was a second one that one of my siblings decided to ignite and it exploded because it was upside down. The, well, little firework thing, the little ball thing, whatever the hell it is, before it explodes and other things. Of course, our launcher was already fucked up. It didn't have that whole, like, platform. So, my dad thought it'd be a great idea to put 4 rocks around it, like big ass rocks, to kind of hold the damn launcher in place. And that shit didn't even fly up like a couple of fucking feet up in the air, and it exploded right in my face, or mostly kind of right in my face. And since I was kind of close, yeah, I would have got fucked over, but not that bad. But not the point. So, if you guys had an amazing 4th of July, well, that's good for you guys. Ours was not the greatest. We launched 2 other fireworks before those big ass fireworks. We launched these like small fireworks, and since there was people like walking or like riding a bicycle or whatever shit around that kind of platform place where we were at, yeah, we would have accidentally got 2 what's it called, probably assault charges from the damn 2 fireworks that we launched. There were like these mini fireworks that just launched up and kind of just light up a little bit. They weren't like the big ones where they explode up in the air. No, they were just these small ones. Yeah, we put them on the ground, and when we launched them, they just launch a couple times, like 2 up in the air, and then the others kind of just launch everywhere else. 2 of them were about to hit my sibling, and me, I was the safest one. Wherever I went, none of those even hit me. I was like Gojo, basically having Limitless on me. But not for real. Sorry about that, guys. Well, not really sorry, but mostly I'm sorry for rambling on, but yeah. But not the point. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I am kind of talking to a friend right now. Hope his message doesn't really pop up in the video, but yeah, wait. So, not the point here. Let me just begin into this what if, and yeah. So, we go into, well, a world full of, well, mostly humans and supernatural beings. Now, the supernatural beings do not actually partake in some of the human stuff, while humans don't really partake in any of the supernatural stuff neither. But that's not the point here or there. We go into certain rumors about there being 12 members, 12 members of an infamous kind of group. Now, it's not really an infamous group, it's mostly just people, just individuals. Mostly 12 individuals in just one school. You see here, these rumors, they kind of go around the entire kind of place of Japan. Probably because, well, mostly these 12, or not, these 12 individual people are quite dangerous. You see here, all 12 of them are quite dangerous in their kind of own rights, in their own abilities and rights. Now, there's supposedly 13, but the 13 member is quite, how should I say, it wasn't really in school, but he was quite dangerous with electronics, but not the point. But there is supposedly 12 confirmed members. Now, these rumors did kind of go to multiple places for the call schools, because, well, mostly a bunch of students in this one certain middle school was kind of just bringing some of the rumors with them. Now, mostly they were talking about how in Tokyo, Shiba City, there was 12, mostly like children's, 12 kids. Some of them were girls. Well, probably one of them were a girl, and then the others were like 11 males, but not the point. But so many rumors explain that, well, they don't know the details, they don't even know the appearance of how they looked like, but they were all quite dangerous. The reason why they were all quite dangerous is because, well, all of them were such troublemakers. Now, they were strong in their own rights. Some of them were actually quite versatile in their own kind of power. Some of them were very dangerous and should probably not be messed with. Some of them were kind of goofy and not really that caring, kind of chill half the time. But some of them could be quite manipulated and really would not care about anyone else, its feelings. But these rumors kind of explain how there's quite, well, mostly, they're the most dangerous people and should be avoided at all time. Now, the school, mostly the school board, they decided to call these children mostly the 12 supernovas, or mostly just supernovas entirely, because, well, they can only guess that there's 12 or 13, so of course they just call them the supernovas for right now. And this is where, well, they have the names and the records, but they're right now hidden in records because some of the supernovas are actually trying to live normally while the others are trying to just keep causing trouble. But the school decides to kind of like put their names in a secret document to actually make sure that no one figure out about their identities, about how troublemaker they are, how strong, how powerful, or whatever, and how interesting their abilities are, but not the point. But this is where, well, the school boarder was kind of threatened at the same time by the government, but not the point. Now, these 12, well, mostly 12 individuals are all in different parts of Japan, but there's 3 certain people that are right now in a place, a small town named Kuo. But that is not the point here or there. You will know later in who they are. Probably now, probably never, probably later. Who knows? But other than that, let's begin into, well, we go into, well, a school. A school that is called Kuo Academy. It used to be an all-girls school, but now it's what's it called, male and kind of female kind of school. The females are still quite dominating this school, and the males are, well, just some of them, not many. But we go into 3 individuals. 3 certain individuals are called the Pervert Trio. The reason why they're called the Pervert Trio is because they don't actually peep on girls on this timeline, or mostly in this world. But it was a reason because one of them accidentally walked into the wrong room because they thought it was the kind of like bathroom, which they really thought it was the bathroom because they really had to go and they were getting lost in the fucking first day of fucking the school year. And they actually just came recently to the school year, but yeah. But mostly, he had no hair, and of course, mostly, he had his eyes closed, and he did have kind of tannish skin. But this is where, well, he didn't know where the bathroom was, and of course, he was running kind of late to class, so of course, he accidentally went into the the Kendo class, full of girls kind of just changing. Of course, they scream at him, calling him a pervert, even though it was his kind of, well, mostly it was an accident from the fact that he was looking for the damn bathroom, because he saw a sign that said bathroom. So of course he ran in there thinking it was a bathroom, but the girls kind of mistook it that he was actually being a pervert. But yeah. But that is not the point here or there. Now, the student was named Matsuda. Matsuda, well, he doesn't really have a last name, or he probably does, which no one actually really knows, but only 2 other people know if he does have a last name or not. And that is his basically 2 best friends. Now, one guy actually has blackish hair and kind of glasses on him. Now, his name is Murahama. He is called the perverted glasses, even though he doesn't really need glasses to actually see, but he just has them because, well, he doesn't like people looking at his eyes entirely. But people do mistake him to being the perverted kind of like scouter. This is where the last member is probably their leader, and they only guess it's their leader because mostly both of them do listen towards mostly this person. A boy with kind of brownish hair that's kind of messy, and of course brownish goldenish eyes. Now, he usually does look like someone with a punk half the time, but not much. He does wear the school academy uniform. He does wear a red shirt underneath because it's kind of his favorite red shirt, but that's not the point here or there. His name is Issei. Now, they do know about his last name being Hayadu. It could be his real name, it could be a fake name. Who knows? But this is where, well, mostly a lot of people kind of mistake him to be the true leader of this group. But they're pretty much just all friends. Kinda. Because mostly when they saw Matsuda kind of talking towards the Murahama and Issei, people just mistake them to also be perverts. But yeah, because they're secretly talking to each other most of the time. They don't really talk too out loud for people to hear their conversation. But people just mistake them to be Pervert Trio, even though they're not even perverts. Not even once. Not even close to being perverts. Actually, they're the furthest thing from being perverts entirely. The closest thing that they could be is probably like a fucking gang member. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Who knows? But let's begin into this what if after the kind of monologue. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not reading too much of fanfic or anything, so don't mistake this to being a fanfic. That's just my head. Just going through probably a description how I really wanted to kind of go like this, but not the point. Yeah. Man, I watch way too many what ifs of people reading fanfics. I should really stop. Because I'm gonna mistake mine for stuff, but not the point. But let me begin into this what. Sorry about rambling on. What the hell is that? Wait. But we go into mostly these three individuals right now in a kind of classroom. They mostly did the 7th hour. Not really because they hate it. It's because they just didn't really want to be dealing with inside the classroom. Now, these three individuals are right now in what's it called, a classroom that's right now kind of like not being used right now. So of course we go into the three individuals kind of like just right now dealing with their own problems. Mostly not really own problems, but mostly just sitting there either reading a book of like how being a doctor and researching some diseases and other stuff, or another one kind of watching YouTube videos of mostly fights and other shit. Of course, this is where he's kind of like not really screaming, but he's like cheering at a person right now in the video. While another one is kind of just right now having his eyes closed. This is where he has both of his eyes closed, and this is where he seems to be already sleeping. This is where the boy with blackish hair and glasses is the one reading the book. The boy who's right now kind of cheering on his like phone, watching the YouTube video is none other than Matsuda. The last one is Issei right now sleeping, but yeah. This is where, Matsuda says, yeah! He screams really loud. This is where, it startled the shit out of mostly, Murahama. Murahama narrowed his eyes in an instant right now with an angry kind of expression, because he lost where he was at reading. He was concentrating and actually thinking of something else in his head. Mostly some stuff like diseases and other things. This is where, Issei wasn't really effective from the screaming kind of, cheer from mostly Matsuda. This is where, Murahama says, shut the hell up, Matsuda. What the hell was wrong? What the hell is actually wrong with you? This is where Matsuda says, huh? What do you want, fucker? Guess what? My favorite fucking character is right now beating the shit out of this man. Go, Mike Tyson! This is where, he's just screaming at his phone. This is where, mostly Murahama cracks his teeth and says, motherfucker, I was doing something. I was right now calculating something in my head. And you screaming right now startled the shit out of me. Do you really want to die right now, you jackass? This is where, right now, Matsuda says, huh? Oh, you want to fight? This is where Matsuda kind of puts his phone away, mostly put it on the desk, and this is where he pops his knuckles. And this is where, Murahama says, yeah, I don't really want to die, but I am going to chop you into pieces, you fucker. This is where, he pulls out a sword out of nowhere, and of course, mostly, he pulls out a sword out of like nowhere, like this huge sword for a second. This is where, mostly, Matsuda kind of grins, and this is where he grabs this like little like nut bolt, and of course, this is where, purplish lightning started crackling around his hand. He's saying, "Oh, you want to really fight with power? Fine, bring it." This is where, both of them were about to clash with each other until, they felt this powerful pressure of mostly this like aura right now appearing on both of them, right now crushing them down to their knees in an instant. But mostly both of them kind of just like turn their heads to the side, mostly the right of them. And this is where, mostly one was right, one was left, but not the point. But this is where, they look towards mostly, the person who's right now sending this powerful aura straight towards them is none other than their actual kind of friend slash leader. which they're not really expecting this person to be their leader, but people do call him the leader. But it's none other than Issei. Issei's eyes are right now glowing a very crimsonish kind of reddish color. His hair started kind of flowing up in an instant, becoming actually black for a second. This is where, well, mostly something appears behind him like a dragon. A black western dragon appears behind him. This is where, well, Issei said, both of you sit the fuck down. You're both annoying my nap. Either you two shut the fuck up right now or I'll knock both of you out. This is where, well, Issei is right now having this angry expression and murderous look in his eyes. This is where both of them kind of calms down for a second, but they say, they don't really care. This is where, well, we'll see Issei sighs and gets up and says, okay, what exactly are you two arguing about? Because it's something stupid, I'm gonna throw you both out the window. I do not give a damn if someone decides to call the cops for the fact that I shattered a window or whatever bullcrap. This is where, well, both of them says, we're not gonna talk to you, okay? The reason why we're fighting in the first place, Motohama says, because this idiot decides to scream out loud. This is where, well, and losing my concentration in what I was thinking about. This is where, well, we'll see, that's Motohama. Matsuda says, and the reason why I'm angry is because this fucker gets angry for the fact that I made him lost something. I don't care. This is where, well, we'll see Motohama say, huh? How the hell is that even a good explainment or detail? Or this is where, well, mostly an excuse. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda says, okay, fine, you want to know the real reason? I am bored. I am bored of this fucking school. I haven't had a good fight. I haven't seen a good fight in a while. Why the hell did we go to the damn school in the first place? He glares at Issei. Issei looks at him with an unmused look. Now, of course, Issei's eyes went back to a goldenish brown, while his hair went back to kind of a darkish brown. But yeah, well, mostly like a lightish brown, but not the point. This is where, well, Issei looks at mostly Matsuda with an uncaring expression and says, the reason why we went to the school, actually, the reason why I went to the school is because I wanted to kind of, well, kind of see if I can manipulate other people. Well, kind of. But that went all down the drain thanks to your dumbass. For some odd reason, you went into the kendo class for some stupid ass reason. I'm really suggesting that you actually are a pervert. This is what Matsuda says, huh? Me? A pervert? Do you think I am a stupid, lowly kind of weakling like that? I'm no pervert. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda was getting angrier as mostly Issei. Issei was glaring at him with a murderous look until mostly Issei sighs and says, why the hell didn't Zoro follow me instead of you? Why the hell did you come along? This is where, well, mostly Matsuda grits his teeth and says, what the hell did he just say? This is where, well, Issei said, Jesus Christ, you're actually more stupider than ever. Murahama, why did you follow me in the first place? This is where, well, Murahama says, the reason why I follow you is because, well, I don't want to be lumped in with these other idiots. Because, well, I can't have my friends with me, or mostly my group with me, because, well, people really call me the fucking Novas. Because there's 12 of us, or 13 entirely, and I'd rather be homeschool like one of us, who are right now in the Novas. But guess what? He's considered to be a hacker, and I'm considered to be somewhat of a doctor. But not the point. The only reason I came along was because I thought the school would be great enough to get an education and get into a good college. I really wouldn't mind going to Kuo College. I have heard that they have been having great doctors in that school, so I wanted to go there. Here's the word, well, Issei nodded saying, okay, I understand that. Matsuda, well, mostly Matsuda. This one Matsuda says, what? What the hell are you going to do instead of you fighting, killing, murdering? Oh, that's easy. I'm going to freaking show it. This is where, well, he says, I regret even kind of asking. This is where, well, Murahama and even Matsuda says, what are you here even for? Issei sighs and says, oh, that's easy. I don't know. I really haven't figured it out. I thought of just going to a good school just to make my parents happy, thinking that I was changing for the greater good. I really do not have any idea on what I'm going to be doing. I could always be like some kind of mafia boss manipulating weaklings to do my bidding. which I really thought of doing that, but I know my family would be kind of wondering where the hell did I got the money from. I can always manipulate them and telling them that I have got the money from my very rich popular job, but they probably will probably try to figure it out because my parents are quite smart. But not the point here or there. Does it work well? He says, other than that, it's quite annoying, or not parents, mostly he has one parent, but not the point. Does it work well? Mostly, well, not one parent, mostly he does have both parents, but one of them is kind of working overseas, but not the point. Does it work well? Mostly Murahama and Matsuda nodded. They know about, well, Issei's kind of manipulation. He is quite one of the smartest out of all the Novas, and he is quite one of the dangers, because if we do not keep an eye on him, a very secure eye on him, he will be able to take over control of whoever exactly, or whatever you're trying to play a game with him. If you're trying to play a game of chess, he will literally be able to take control of you, because he can easily kind of manipulate you with emotions, just eye contact or whatever. Does it work well? Issei is quite one of the most rarest type of gems, and one of the most dangerous types at the same time. Does it work well? Mostly, well, both Matsuda and Murahama says, I guess we do understand that reason. Does it work well? Mostly Issei says, then again, there's a better fucking reason than Matsuda. So Matsuda glares at Issei and says, you sonba. Issei says, look here, you motherfucker. Don't cause trouble for us. I am still trying to, well, do whatever that will help me, benefit me in the later run. But you screwed both of us over. Now we're considered the Pervert Trio of this whole damn school. Masuda says, why don't we fight back? Why don't we show them who the hell we are? Just to where, well, Murahama says, because, idiot, if we show who exactly we are, we can literally get kicked out of the school in an instant. And I'm not trying to get kicked out. I'm literally trying to get into a good school, being a great doctor, and helping out mostly how to solve some of the fucking diseases. Some of the diseases that were actually hurtful to where I actually, well, kind of hurt my siblings when I was younger. That the ones that actually kill my siblings. But not the point, jackass. I'm not trying to miss this opportunity. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda scoffs and says, oh, they're already dead. You can this is where, well, mostly Issei says, shut the fuck up, both of you. I'm already done. I'm already ticked off enough from both of you arguing and bickering and annoying the fuck out of me. If you don't shut the fuck up, I won't mind in knocking you both out straight to the 9 rooms of hell. Now both of you shut the hell up. That's where both of them just kind of grumbles underneath, but yeah. Because mostly, that isn't a promise. Well, that isn't a threat, that's literally a promise. Issei would not care about killing both of his friends. Or kind of consider friends, or allies, or whatever. Does it work well? Issei kind of just sighs and says, you idiots are annoying me more than ever. But that's not the point here or there. Matsuda, if you really, really want to fucking show who you exactly are, and it somehow suspends both us, and, well, both me and Murahama, I will find you, I will throw you into the river, and I will let you fucking drown in the river, jackass. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda shuts up, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, we are not going to reveal in who exactly we the fuck are, because if we show who exactly we are, there's a good chance people will try to, well, fear us, fight us, or whatever in general. Even though I do have the same exact feeling as you, Matsuda, I do know that you want to murder someone, want to kill half the motherfuckers in the school for the fact that they treat us so damn disrespectfully. I can understand that, because I have also dealt with the same fucking problem. People call me the perverted beast, the leader of this damn fucking group. Even though I am not supposed to be the leader of you two, I'm the leader of some other group, yet they decide to involve me with you guys because, well, since I talked to you guys. And we barely even fucking talked the entire year, but people still involve us because we're right next to each other. The school is so petty and annoying that I really want to destroy the system so easily. This is where, well, mostly, both Murahama and Matsuda nodded. This is where, well, Issei says, but other than that, I'm trying to take a fucking nap right now. Both of you shut the fuck up because I'm right now trying to plan also my head. That's right, well, both of them nodded and decided just kind of went back to doing whatever. But we go into a time skip of mostly them kind of going home. Now, this is where, well, Issei is going home and of course gets to his house. Now, he gets to his house and knocks at the door, but noticed that, well, there was a note at his door saying that, well, or not really just knocked at, well, he knocked at it, but of course noticed that no one did answer for a couple of minutes, decides to open it with a spare key and get inside, goes to the kitchen and sees a note, a kind of plastic container kind of covering up some food, and a note that says that I'm gonna be working kind of late. This is where, well, Issei sighs and right now frustration and anger. He really wants to help his mother and like bills and money, but yeah. Now, of course, what I meant about his father working overseas is his father isn't entirely in their lives. You see here, his father actually left him and his mother for another woman overseas. He's not really working to pay child support for Japan, but yeah. As a work, well, Issei is so angry. His mother needs to work or well have to overwork most of the time because of his stupid father, for the fact that his stupidity decides to want to go kind of bang another girl overseas. This is where, well, Issei hopes that his father just gets fucking screwed over by the cops or something, just gets fucked over by a drug dealer. He doesn't give a damn. He just hopes for the love of fucking hell, for karma to fuck him over right in the ass. And this is where, well, Issei just doesn't care about him that much at all. And that's right, well, we go into mostly Issei deciding to kind of just ignore, well, mostly all that. Now, we go into, well, Issei kind of eating his like food, kind of cooking it and then eating it. And this is where, well, Issei sighs, really wishing that he can actually help his mother. He would have not care about kind of working at a job. He actually wouldn't even care about working as kind of a drug dealer or any of that. Because who exactly is going to fuck with him exactly? He can easily dodge bullets without a care in the world. He can dodge a lot of shit, but of course, he's not trying to show his supernatural abilities or mostly his superhuman kind of strength. Because even though he might be different from others, he, in kind of having always an arrogant kind of god complex, he is not that also different from humans. But yeah, but that's not the point here. There. Now, this is where, well, he gets up after finishing his food and going to go up towards his room. He gets up to his room, but of course, before he kind of gets up to his room, he does take off all the uniform clothing and other shit. And this is where, well, Issei then removes one of his eyes, well, mostly eye lenses, to showing a kind of reddish color. This is where, well, Issei kind of just sighs and says, God damn it, these goddamn eye lenses get annoying my eyes. And of course, using my powers, they would melt and change back to my original color. Now, you see here, Issei's eyes are actually entirely a different color. Instead of being goldenish brown, they are, well, this is where, well, his eye color looks like this. Mostly a reddish kind of ring eye color, but not the point. Both of his eyes look like it, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei's hair is kind of, well, the same brownish color, but this is where, well, he looks into the mirror of his eye color. And this is where, well, Issei says, I really, really want to just dye my hair back to normal. Almost just bleach it back to normal, but not the point. I have to keep my identity a secret. If people find out then what I am, a Nova, then it will be quite dangerous information for those who actually understand and who exactly I am. And I'll have to make Mom have to move again. Damn it. Damn it. Whatever. Gotta get out of here. Well, mostly not out of here. Mostly he gets up, mostly from looking at the mirror, and of course, just kind of walks to his bed, kind of closes his eyes and falls asleep. The next day happens, and of course, everything is going the same, somewhat like in original canon, somewhat, but not really purring at anyone. But people still call them the Pervert Trio, even if they try to avoid humans entirely. Or not humans, because they are also humans, but mostly just people in general. Does it work? Well, they just try to ignore everyone, but yeah. Now, we go into mostly a time skip, somewhere during lunch that right now, well, an incident happens. A girl in the front was kind of just talking to her friend, but this is where, well, they hear mostly like this motorcycles kind of approaching the gate. This is where, well, the girl was confused, but this is where she had kind of like reddish and brownish hair. Of course, it was kind of like reddish brunette, and of course with kind of reddish eyes. This is where, well, her friend next to her was kind of someone who is right now, a girl with kind of like this goldenish, kind of blondish hair with greenish eyes. Now, there's other people kind of near the front, but they were kind of just walking around until they hear an explosion happen near the gates. This is where multiple biker gang members actually appear. Now, they have a weird symbol on the back where it kind of looks like, what's it called? Mostly to be an angel, but having no head on it. They're called the, headless angels. And this is where, well, a guy with kind of blondish hair and blackish hair is kind of looking around. This is where, well, he has 2 tattoos in his hand. Well, mostly in both of his, like, back of his hands. One says punishment, while the other one says sin. This is where he's smoking a cigar, and this is where, well, he's sighing. He has kind of, well, how should I say, he has kind of this goldenish eye color, and this is where, well, he does have like an earring next to his ear. Now, there's a couple other people that actually appear, but this is where, well, some of them are from different other gangs. Now, this is where people are confused and kind of scared because why are there gang members here? And some of them seem to be quite dangerous looking. This is where, well, some of the girls get on kind of guard, even though they know they probably won't be able to win. Some of them are Kendo girls, but this is where, well, mostly 2 of them kind of get on guard. They have their Kendo swords out, but this is where, well, they probably won't be able to affect some of them, because some of the guys look quite big. This is where, well, there's also, well, mostly there is Sanji there, mostly one of the council members, kind of leaders, or not leaders, mostly just a guy that's in the council, the student council. And this is where, well, Sanji says, "Hey, who exactly are you people?" This is where he screams out mostly at the gang members. One of them just ignores, well, a bunch of them just ignores a dirty blonde haired dude. And this is where, well, mostly the dirty blonde hair kind of gets angry and says, "Hey, why you ignore me?" This is where he glares at what's it called, mostly the gang members. The gang members, well, some of them gets out of their bikes, and this is where it kind of walks towards Sanji and says, "Shut up before we kill you, brat." This is where, well, Sanji isn't intimidated too much, but then realized that he can't use his, well, demonic strength on these people because they're humans. And this is where, well, mostly the girls are kind of cheering, hoping that, Sanji will be able to fight them, until mostly one of the gang members swings a punch straight to Sanji and knocking him out. Sanji gets hit to the ground and kind of has his nose bleeding. This is where some of the girls get on guard, now realizing that, yes, there's only one Sanji. They're thinking that their Prince Charming will be able to beat half of these people. But it looks like Sanji just got hit to the ground pretty hard. This is where, well, Sanji tries to get up, but this is where another person kicks him right in the ribs, kind of pushing him away from mostly the gang members. This is where, well, both the people try to rush at Sanji to try to, well, kind of keep beating his ass until, well, before anything happens, something appears. Well, someone with kind of having no hair and having his eyes closed. This is where, well, he kicked the shit out of one of the gang members before before one of them was about to kick the shit out of Sanji. Basically kicking him right in the stomach, mostly in the side of the stomach, smashing into the other guy. This is where both of them kind of groans on the ground because they're pretty hurt. They're like, "Oh, fuck." This is where, well, mostly a bunch of biker gang members will notice the person with no hair and having his eyes closed. He has tannish skin, and this is where, well, he has such an evilish grin on his face. Because when he opened his eyes, finally his eyes, now, I should mention about Matsuda's height. Matsuda is quite one of the tallest out of, well, everyone in the Pervert group. He's actually 6'5", and he's quite bulky, but mostly, since he does kind of wear, like, long, like, clothing, he's not showing too much muscle, but yeah. This is where, well, he opened his eyes, and this is where it showed to be kind of an orangey, kind of goldenish color. This is where Matsuda is kind of grinning and saying, "This is good. I wasn't expecting people like you to show up." This is where, well, one person with having zero hair, actually like having barely any hair, and this is where, well, he has a tattoo, he has no shirt, and this is where, well, he kind of glares at Matsuda. This is where, well, Matsuda says, "Oh, wait a minute, I have seen you before. what's your name again? What was it again? Or, well, he does have hair. He does have, like, this golden patch of hair on top. And this is where he has goldenish eyes. This is where both, well, he does have kind of palish skin. Which, yeah, palish kind of skin, but at the same time tannish. While Matsuda does have, what's it called, well, he does have tannish skin, but not that tannish. And this is where, well, they both grin with such an evilish smirk on both of their faces. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda says, oh, wait, now I remember who you are, yourself. Self, what's your last name? I forgot. I don't give a damn that much. Bring it on, fucker. This is where, well, the person who is now known as Self kind of says, you're Matsuda. Matsuda kid, aren't you? This is where, well, not Matsuda kid. Mostly he says Matsuda. Or, well, not kid. Mostly he says, so you're Matsuda Chuchaku. This is where, well, mostly Matsuda says, oh, wait, you're Self, let me say that. Self Toronto, that's your name, isn't it, then? This is where, well, mostly Self grins and saying, so you're one of the Novas, aren't you? This is where, well, mostly Matsuda says, you can say that. It seems that you know who exactly I am. Good to know. This might not be too boring now that I think about it. This is where Matsuda starts taking off his, like, clothing. He does take off his mostly, like, what's it called, shirt. And of course, it shows off his muscles. Now, of course, he's ripping. Half the girls are kind of blushing a little bit. Now, this is where Catherine's looking away because she did call this guy a scrawny, weakling, pathetic, and anything. He's quite tall because mostly Matsuda is the height of what's called 6'5". Well, yeah, 6'5", and this is where, well, everyone thought that he was just tall but scrawny. But this is where, well, he's quite ripped, and this is where, well, this person who's now known as Self kind of called mostly Matsuda Chinko. That meaning, well, mostly Jinko just means magnet, but this is where, well, they're confused on why they call him a Nova. This is where Matsuda says, bring it! This is where both of them just rush at each other. This is where both of them swing the punch at each other, knocking each other backwards. This is where both of them just start kind of clashing with each other. This is where, well, both of them are grinning with just evilish grins on their faces. This is where, well, it seems that Self seems to be the same height, but a little bit much taller than Matsuda. Matsuda seems to be happy and actually having a good battle for the one time. Or mostly, not one time, mostly since a long time, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly both of them are clashing with punching each other in the face. And they are having, well, no knockouts just yet, but yeah. This is where, well, other biker gang members that are actually under Self's command is actually rushing straight to Matsuda. This is where, well, before anything happens, Matsuda grabs Self from mostly the kind of like, what's it called, near his like waist, picks his shit up, and of course just tosses him straight towards the other members behind him. This is where, well, Self managed to smash into some of his members, and this is where some of his members still managed to kind of get around their kind of leader and rush straight to Matsuda. Matsuda didn't hold back and started knocking people out, punching them right in the face, clocking them right in the, what's it called, like, stomach, hitting them so hard in the ribs, kind of probably shattering some ribs, and yet people were getting knocked out left and right. This is where, well, mostly a guy who actually pulls out a gun was actually getting quite annoyed with Matsuda. This is where, well, he was about to kind of aim it straight towards Matsuda's direction until something happens. A kind of knife smashes into his hand right now, or mostly his arm in an instant, like a knife, like a surgeon knife. This is where, well, he's confused, and this is where, well, he can't even use that arm no more because it hit a pressure point that makes him unable to actually use that arm. He kind of grit his teeth, and this is where, well, he kind of glares to decide what is happening, who actually did that. This is where, well, it was none other than Murahama. Murahama is kind of just taking off his glasses, showing off his blackish kind of like abyss eye color. This is where, well, people are confused, but this is where they see Murahama. Murahama taking off his glasses, showing off his blackish eyes. Blackish people are kind of somewhat onyx eyes, and this is where, well, he kind of like takes off mostly his hair was kind of styled towards being looking like a nerd, but then just went back to messy because he kind of just messed it up. This is where, well, he puts on a hat, a white hat on top of his head. This is where, well, he has a sword next to him that's actually a real sword, but this is where, well, he kind of decides to kind of switch it out with someone's kind of Kendo sword. Well, one of the wooden swords from mostly one of the Kendo girls, and of course it's none other than he took it from mostly what's called Mostly this girl that's actually in what's it called, the Kendalls, who actually mostly Murahama just decides to take it, and of course decides to lend them his sword for a second, even though they can barely even hold it because the sword is quite heavy and quite big. This is where, well, they were about to fall until one of them actually managed to kind of help, well, the girl kind of like carry it. This is where, well, mostly the girls are kind of struggling to grab the sword, and this is where Murahama kind of just walks straight towards the person that he just threw the kind of like scalpel at. So when this is where, well, the person grits, he can glares, and mostly Murahama. Murahama does have his like clothing changed to just being a kind of like sweater, mostly like a kind of like what's it called, not sweater, mostly a hoodie. And this is where, well, he does show off his tattoos around his arm. This is where, well, Murahama switch up and says, God damn it, Masuda, you could not hold back. You had to really have to pick a fight. Whatever. This is where, well, he glares at the person who kind of has glasses. This is where the person grits and glares at mostly Murahama. Murahama says, so, what is it? This is where the person says, you're Murahama. You're Murahama D, well, how should I say, you're Trafalgar, well, yeah. You're Trafalgar D, law, aren't you? This is where, well, Murahama says, so you know my real name. Quite interesting. Well, you won't actually remember me because if I knock you out, you're dead anyway. This is where, well, the person grits his teeth, and this is where he pulls out a second gun and shoots it at Murahama. Murahama dodges, and this is where, well, Murahama right now just dashes straight towards the person. The person keeps shooting at Murahama, but this is where Murahama actually stabs him with the kind of like Kendall sword right in the chest. Right now, kind of hitting him in the pressure part that hurts his chest even more. This is where a person was about a point blank shot Murahama, but this is where Murahama grabbed the gun, mostly the arm of where the gun is at, and this is where he grabs the sword and about to stab this guy in the eye, saying, if you move, I will stab you right in the eye, poke your damn eye, and just take it out. You son of a bitch. This is where, well, the person grits his teeth and glares at Murahama, saying, you mother. This is where, well, the last group being, what's it called, the last dude kind of being there, and this is where he sees, what's it called, two of the Novas, and this is where he's wondering if there's a third one. This is where, well, someone's walking behind Mariyama, and Mariyama was actually about to help the two perverts, because she actually did change her opinion, but this is where, well, someone actually grabbed her from the collar and decided to throw her back, because behind him was none other than, what's it called, the, well, Rios' Paraj and Imatsuna's Paraj. But this is where, before they can even react or do anything to kind of get rid of the gang members, they see one of the Pervert Trio being the leader, grabbing Moriyama from the back of the collar and just throwing her back straight towards him. Grabbing the sword in an instant, her wooden kind of Kendo sword. And this is where, well, mostly Issei is walking straight towards the last member of gang. This is where, well, one of them kind of was smoking still a cigar and then noticed his eyes. Whenever his eyes and then widen in an instant, seeing Issei. Issei said, so, Hanma, it's been a while. This is where Hanma says, yo! This is where, well, he starts chuckling, saying, yo, yo, yo. It's really been a while, Issei. Mostly, Issei D, what's called Monkey. This is where, well, Issei says, so you two remember my last name. Quite interesting. Oh, I can only care less about remembering your last name also. Hanma says, it doesn't matter. I'll fight you and be able to defeat you. Attack him now. This is where, well, they all started rushing straight towards mostly Issei. Mostly all of Hanma's kind of group, but yeah. But I'm going to leave it here for kind of part 1, because part 2 will be whenever, but right now I got to go do something. But yeah, bye. See ya.